Hey guys, welcome back to Small Screen Shakedown. Today we'll talk about 5 reasons why The Fairly OddParents was the best Nickelodeon cartoon ever. Let's head into it. What is The Fairly OddParents? The Fairly OddParents is an American animated TV series created by Butch Hartman, sometimes referred to as Fairly OddParents or FOP. It was about Timmy Turner's adventures, who's bestowed with fairy godparents named Cosmo and Wanda. The series began as segments of cartoons that ran between September 4, 1998 and March 23, 2001. It was produced for the cable network Nickelodeon by Frederator Studios and Billionfold Inc. MTV Networks distributes the television series. Time magazine named the series as one of the greatest TV shows of all time in 2009. Danny Phantom, Tough Puppy, and Bunsen is a Beast are the sister shows to Fairly OddParents. It ended in 2017. Now that we've provided a rough description of the show, let's get right into the 5th reason for it being the best Nickelodeon cartoon ever. Number 5. Plot. Timmy Turner is the average 10-year-old boy whose life is miserable. He falls back on his fairy godparents, Cosmo and Wanda, to grant him wishes. Bullied by Francis and hated by the insane Mr. Crocker at school, neglected by his parents, and left in the care of the torturous Vicky at home. His desires often backfire on him, as either his wishes are disastrous or they create a new enemy for him. It's up to Timmy and his fairies to try to reverse the effects of those wishes as they come up against many obstacles. Most prominently, either the exact wording of the wish or the rules that cover the behavior of fairy godparents and the wishes of their godchildren. Number 4. Live-action adaptations. In 2011, to celebrate the 10th year anniversary of The Fairly OddParents as a Nicktoon series, a live-action television movie was broadcast on Nickelodeon. Timmy Turner is now 13 years into the future, a 23-year-old adult who still lives in the same house, sleeps in the same bed, never had a girlfriend, and still attends the 5th grade class of Mr. Crocker. The arrested growth of Timmy stems from his desire to keep his beloved fairy godparents, Cosmo, Wanda, and their son, Poof, as Rules dictates that as soon as he begins to act like an adult, he will lose them. All of Timmy's friends have grown up and are now moving on to better stuff. A smart and beautiful woman has returned home to Tootie, a nerdy girl who has always loved Timmy, and Timmy begins to fall in love with her, but a grown-up relationship with her would mean the end of his fairy adventures. Timmy must choose to grow up and fall in love with the woman of his dreams, or continue to behave like a child and stay with the best friends he's ever had. Meanwhile, for his own greedy purposes, an oil tycoon named Hugh J. Magnate discovers the existence of fairies and seeks to gain their power. Drake Bell plays Timmy Turner, and Tootie is played by Daniela Monet. They were played by Jason Alexander and Cheryl Hines, respectively. In a brief sequence where Cosmo and Wanda were temporarily human, they were played by Jason Alexander and Cheryl Hines, respectively. For the remainder of the movie, Cosmo, Wanda, and Poof otherwise appeared in CGI form and were voiced by their original voice actors. Completing the cast were David Lewis, Devin Weigel, Mark Gibbon, Darren Norris, and Terrell Rothery. Number 3. Guest stars. Many actors have guest starred in The Fairly OddParents during the entire course of the show. Recurring characters, Adam West as Catman and Jay Leno as Crimson Chin, are some of the most notable. Norm Macdonald, Norm the Genie, Alec Baldwin, older Timmy, and Tom Arnold were some other famous stars. Although not featured as guests on the show, references were made to other public figures, including Bill Gates, shown in the episode Father Time as a child with Cosmo and Wanda as fairy godparents. Tina Turner, also one of their godkids. Britney Spears, parodied as Britney. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone, parodied as Arnold Schwarzeneggerman and Sylvester Calzone. A US president was depicted in the episode That Old Black Magic, and he bore resemblance to then President Bush. Number 2. Lucky 7 Marathon. On July 7, 2007, from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Nickelodeon showed viewers' favorite Fairly OddParents episodes, voted for on Turbo Nick. That was the 3rd time Nickelodeon allowed viewers to vote for their favorite episodes. The first occasion was the Best Day Ever event of SpongeBob SquarePants, and the other time was the Genius, Shenius, or In-Betweenius event of Jimmy Neutron. Unlike the previous 2, however, there were no new episodes that aired. 77 secrets were revealed instead. The 77 secrets stated that the Fairly OddParents were joined by new characters. Cast had given hints such as showing Cosmo in a diaper, pooing himself, and then people going, going, "Aw." This indicated that Cosmo was going to have a baby with Wanda. That's one of the only Fairly OddParents marathons. Nick showed a commercial telling of things that were going to happen in 2008, later in December 2007. This commercial had a brief preview, aired February 18, 2008, of Fairly Odd Baby, which included Cosmo in a hospital gown holding a baby. Number 1. DVD and VHS. Several video releases have been marketed due to the mass popularity of the show. DVD box sets can be found for the first 8 seasons, but only digital purchases can be made for the final 2 seasons via iTunes, Amazon Video, Google Play, etc. And they're definitely worth buying. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.